All right. All right. All right. What is good? What is good? What is good? Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you know who it is. Yours truly, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic live stream for you guys today. Sincerely hope that everybody is having a blessed day because, of course, yours truly is having a fantastic day. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and run through the official time check. Official time check is about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, which makes it about 6:30 p.m. Central Time, which makes that about 4:30 p.m. over there for everybody repping that West Coast. And of course, Philippine time makes it about 8:30 in the a.m. So glad that you guys are able to join the good doctor for another classic live stream today. First and foremost, I want to make sure that I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, just in case I don't put any live streams together tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve for my people in the US. And then, of course, 25th on Tuesday, that is Christmas time for you guys. So I want to make sure that I go ahead and give you your Christmas greetings and your New Year greetings, just in case I do not come on. I'm still iffy. We'll see how it plans out. But without further ado, gotten all of this out of the way, gonna go ahead and rip this one off like a band-aid, like the good doctor always does. Today's topic is gonna be one for the books, no doubt in my mind. All right. Topic for today is I am weak for any Filipina that makes me feel good about me. I repeat, I am weak for any Filipina that makes me feel good about me. All right. We talked briefly in the previous live stream about how, as a man, it is okay to be emotional. You know, you cry like a little bitch if you got to. Sometimes you need to get stuff like that out of your system. But as a man, you're supposed to put on this facade as a very strong, very gruff, very rough, you know, facade. As a man, you're supposed to make everybody believe that you are alpha when some of some of them are pretty much a beta male in some respects. But we're not going to get into that today. But I'm telling you right now, any Filipina that makes me feel good about myself, that shit right there will break down a man's walls from all different perspectives. All right. Because they'll talk you up, they'll make you feel strong. They'll make you feel as if they believe in you. And I'm telling you, when you've gone through a lot of shit in your life and you've had people turn their backs on you and people have just doubted you and said, man, you ain't about shit. You ain't this, you're not that, you're not anything. But then you have a woman or somebody in your life that makes you feel like you're on top of the world, makes you feel like you can accomplish anything, and make you feel like you are invincible. It is enough to make a man go crazy. All right. It is enough to make a man feel like he is on top of the world. And in that respects, from the man's point of view, any woman that makes you feel that way, or any Filipina in this particular situation that makes you feel that way, you will probably do absolutely anything for them. And I mean anything. And when I say this, I kind of think about women from my own home country. In our own home countries, many of us men, Western world livers, many of us are used to being treated like second class citizens. And this comes at the expense of our own women. Most of our own women make us feel like we are nothing more than second class citizens. So when you basically find the woman that actually changes the narrative in your life and makes you feel that much better about yourself and makes you feel like a king, I guarantee you'll be ready to get married, buy her a house, take care of her family, feed the barangay, or whatever it takes to keep this feeling alive because you're not used to being treated like this. And for lack of a better term, we would call the guys who do this type of shit simps. But I kind of feel like this could happen to just about any man. If a man's not used to being treated right, it doesn't make him a simp because he wants to do this for a woman that makes him feel a certain kind of way. You understand? I really can't see it being a simpish mentality if you actually want to do something for somebody that makes you feel like you've never felt before. You understand? If you're not used to being praised, and I'm not talking about praise like God in like a godlike way, but if you're not used to receiving positive comments from women or positive anything from women, the one woman that does give you the positive comments will definitely change your life and will definitely probably convince you to do things that you probably never thought about doing in your whole entire life. But then again, when you have these women that make you feel like you're on top of the world, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you never know the reasons why they are doing this. Are they doing this because they love you, or are they doing this in order to manipulate you? And to make it clear, some women know what they are doing when they do this. All right. Some women are very, very tactical in their approach with certain men. They know what they can get away with certain men. We've talked about this before. Some Filipinas can see right through you. They're very street smarts. It doesn't matter what country they come from, third world, first world, 100th world, whatever it may be. Some women are very, very smart, streetwise. They know what they're doing, and their tactics will get you to do whatever they want you to do. So again, you should never be too forthcoming or too willing to do everything for a woman that gasses your head up, okay? I want to make that abundantly clear. You should never be quick to jump the gun on any woman that makes you feel like you're on top of the world, because you never know the reasons why she is doing that. For example, I knew a guy got into a recent relationship with a young lady. Things were moving fast. I mean, within a week or two, things were really picking up steam. He's over here saying, "Yeah, I like her a lot. I care about her, and she's like wifey material." Right? He was saying that. He probably didn't mean it, but he was saying it. And I'm like, "What is it about her that makes you feel like she's wifey material?" And literally, what he said in the conversation is the title of the live stream. Basically, he says she makes me feel good about me, and I'm just not used to that shit. And it caught me off guard because I was like, I can feel where he's coming from. A woman that makes a man feel good about himself, Filipina that makes a man feel good about himself, that's the type of shit you want around you all the time. Feel me? And I told him, I was like, okay, so I asked him a quick question. I said, so aside from making you feel good about you, what else is she doing for you? That's what I was thinking. I was like, aside from her making you feel good about yourself, what else is she doing for you? I mean, cooking, cleaning, standard stuff. I just asked him random questions just to see what his responses would be. And outside of making him feel good about himself, he really couldn't come up with any answer. And then I said, okay, let me ask you this. What are you doing for her in return for her making you feel good about you? And he says he pauses for a second because I can almost tell he didn't want to answer the question. But me being the type of person I am, I'm gonna get it out of you one way or another. Whether I have to rephrase the question or not, I'm gonna get my answer. So ultimately, he ends up telling me that he's bought her stuff, and that's what he said exactly verbatim. I bought her stuff. He didn't want to go into detail about what he bought her because I can almost tell by the crackle in his voice it was probably something expensive. I was like, "What have you done for the family?" That was my next question. He was like, "Well, I did buy the family, a TV for the house because they needed it, right?" And then I was like, "Okay, what else have you done?" So eventually, he kind of opens up a little bit, and I was like, "Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the money aspect out of the relationship. I know it's going to be hard for you to do this, but I want you to take the money away. Like, for example, don't spend on anything lavish for the lady. Of course, if you guys are going out to eat or whatever it may be, that's fine. But as far as big ticket expenses, if she asks for it, tell her, we don't have it right now. Maybe I'll be able to get it for you like next month. Find a reason to delay her having it at the moment, just so that you could test her reaction. That's what I told him. And so he said he did that, and he said the girl started having she started crying and shit, And I felt like at that particular moment of time, he was woke. Seriously, like the reaction that he gave me, it was like having an epiphany. I'm sorry. And he basically said, man, she started crying and, everything started flowing out, stuff like that. And I was like, so basically, because she didn't get her what she wanted, she cried on you and shit. So did you end up buying it for her? Yes or no? He said yes. And I said, you either need to get out of that situation or expect that situation to be based upon money for the rest of your life. I told him that. And that just goes to tell you, that just goes to show you, just as a quick example, guys, this could happen to anybody in any situation could, occur that could possibly put a man in this particular situation. But it just goes to show you that whenever a woman makes you feel good about you, Filipina, since we're talking about Filipinas in the Philippines, I know that this can actually be for any woman. I understand that, but because of my genre and what I work with, I'll just use Filipinas as an example. If a Filipina makes you feel good about you, you got to make sure that you don't jump into it, both feet in straight into the deep end, because you never know the reasons why some of these women are being nice to you in the first place. And that's just my thoughts for the day. We talk about simps and how they are so emotionally attached to women because these women make them feel good about themselves. But I want to make this abundantly clear. This can happen to any man. I don't care who you are. I truly don't. You can call a man a simp or whatever it may be. Ah, man, you simping, man. I don't care about all that. But no, 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 no. This can happen to any man. If you're not used to being treated good by women from your own home country, I can almost guarantee you that any woman that makes you feel good about you, you'll definitely be forthcoming with being able to do a lot for her. And that's just my food for thought for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys coming through and listening to the Good Doctor today. It seems like we got about 27 individuals watching. I appreciate all 27 of you coming through and showing some love to the Good Doc today. Oh, it just bumped up to 30. Saw that. Okay. I appreciate all of you coming through and showing some love to the Good Doc today. I'd appreciate you guys going ahead and getting the likes up. I would appreciate that 100%. That would make me happy. If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the Good Doc is happy that you come through and spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Nayon again, for those just coming in, I appreciate you guys coming through, and I definitely want to greet you guys Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance, just in case I don't get a chance to greet you guys at a later date. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and run to the chat. I see my man Daniel. He's been sitting here for a minute. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. My man Pedro, sit back, relax, got the popcorn in hand. I see you, play. I appreciate you being here with the Good Doc. My man Tommy, all the way from North Carolina. What's going on? My man Terry Edwards is here. My man Eyes On, I see you. Ed, I see you. What's good with you? We just having a good one today. My man Jeffrey G, self-esteem topic today. It is about self-esteem, man. If a woman makes you feel good about you, got to be careful about that. But I promise you, it'll make a man go crazy because that's just not what we are used to. My man George Baker, I see you. Fellow traveler, what's going on? Get Lost Vlogs, I see you. My man Andy, what's going on, family? John Doe, what's going on, man? He says, he said, I am a weak simp for any Filipino that makes me feel good about me. Please whip me and spend all my money too. While you're at it, cheat on me too. I'll watch and pay him too. Well, if that's how you feel, man, some men, hey, you got to understand that this is just the lifestyle of some. Any man can be weak for any woman that makes him feel good about him. That's all I'm going to say about that. Slow Ride, what's going on, man? My man Coy Will, what's going on, fam? Appreciate you coming through. My man Daniel asks, is it a requirement for my peanut to make me feel good about myself? If you feel good about you, that's perfectly fine. The only statement that I am making here in this particular live stream is this. If you find a woman that treats you differently than other women. Now, a lot of people are going to say, any guy who allows a woman to run over him and is a simp. I get how you can say that, but what I'm taking out of this particular context is the simple fact that any Filipino that makes you feel good about yourself, anyone that makes you feel good about you, you'll probably be weak for. I'm just making, and by weak, I don't mean a simp. I'm just saying we'll be more willing and likely to do a lot of things for her. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. You'll be willing to open yourself up in a very, very interesting fashion with certain women. That's all I'm saying about it. My man MD says, now that's a funny topic. Is that a simp? I don't know. Some people say it's a simp. I'm just saying that I've known a couple of guys that have come out sideways, because they're not used to being treated right by their own women. And this is exactly the kind of situations that they fall into. It's kind of a trap. It could be for real. Maybe not. Basically what we talk about. My man Daniel says white knights are all wank stains on the wall. Fellow traveler says don't ride the white horse. I've never heard that song. I'm gonna check that out. My man John Doe says when you're a simp, the girl doesn't need to make him feel like a king. All the simp requires is a sniff. Ran 64, I see you, family. What's good with you? Slow ride, you're right. It may be considered low self-esteem. Very true. When you need a woman to basically, I don't, what is it? Not clarify, but to like justify who you are as a man or some shit like that, it is probably some serious low self-esteem. But I will tell you this, those are the types of men that always find themselves in trouble. You never know if it's for real, you never know if it's a manipulative tactic. Ed says men are different, second class citizens. Men are definitely, sorry, second class citizens in most Western nations. Men have lost some basic human rights. That is too much, man. It's too much for a man to take. I'm telling you. Got men all up in their feelings and shit. I hope the rest of the world doesn't become like the West. Me too. But it's just what we, it is the world, it is the way that the world seems to be trending. And that is unfortunate. MD says, if you're not used to being treated like a king, you might go the extra mile for a woman who treats you like a king. It can be dangerous if the woman is using you. Correct the mundo. I appreciate that one. And yep, made sure that I put that in the live stream as well. You never know if it's for real. You never know if they are for genuine or if they're trying to use you. Like the guy that I just gave you the example of. Yeah, that's exactly what that turned out to be. My man Black Pablo Elite, see you in the building, player. What's good? Rand 64 says, yeah, many drinking girls do that in Korea. That in Korea, the Philippines. Okay. My man Daniel says, by the way, I called out a Filipino YouTuber and he could not read and he has a complete dickhead. I can show you later. Oh, okay. Well, you can let me know. World Traveler, my man BGC Mike, what's going on with you, fam? MD says you have to keep your guard up at all times. These girls are getting too smart. Oh, yes, man. They are getting way too smart. Way too smart. Yeah, John Doe, you're probably right. Just a simple loser. Like I said, I give every man the benefit of the doubt. All right. Because I know that sometimes it feels good for a woman to make you feel good about yourself. It is a self-esteem issue, and it definitely has to do with your own self-confidence. I do agree with that. But I mean, sometimes see, but let me take a different approach to this one. Because maybe it's not so much that the Filipina makes you feel good about you. Maybe it's the fact that she knows how to stroke the ego. That is another way that we could talk about this as well. Now, from the first perspective, a guy with low self-esteem, low confidence. Then we come to a guy with high self-esteem and high confidence. We'll just say that. But she knows how to stroke the ego. Y'all know what stroking the ego is, man. She'll make you feel like you already do times 10. You know what I'm saying? Call you all kinds of nicknames and shit. Whatever it takes to make you feel good about you and shit. They could do that too. So it does go both ways, man. And I've known a lot of guys to find themselves in situations like that too. So yes, from the first perspective, it is definitely about low self-esteem, low confidence, women making a man feel good about himself. And then on the second end, it's a woman that's stroking that ego, even though a man is already considering himself a hot commodity, already prime quality, but she's just doing a little bit extra to make sure that she guarantees herself a position in whatever it is you got going on. My man Coy Will says, man, you just got to be careful, man. It truly is. It's just, you just got to be careful. That's all I could tell you. MD says, "Oh snap, he is taking care of the fam. Dude is on some serious trouble." Oh yes, man. It was a cold, slow ride, man. Like my man in the chat, it was crazy. It was a bumpy road downhill. I tell you that. Fellow travelers says, "Sound the alarm. Your boy being taken to the cleaners." Yes, sir. Try to see. You try to be like a counselor to some of these people, but sometimes it's too late, and that's the problem. And that was the problem. I was too late for that one. My man Slow Rush says female validation gets expensive. True that. Very true. Philippines. John Doe says, just tell her no and tell the girl pay her ASAP. I wish I could. I wish I could, but sometimes you can tell them everything that they need to know, but they're not gonna pay attention. That's the problem. That's what we go through as men who try to give advice to others. Sometimes it's just too late. Sometimes nobody will ever heed the warning. You never know. Never know. My man Daniel says the guy I called out is a complete liar and his lies could kill someone. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure you'll let me know later. My man Ran64 says, yeah, always keep your guard up at all times. Many are scammers. You gotta do that. You got to. But at the end of the day, if you're a man, I'll put it to you like this. I believe that every woman deserves the benefit of the doubt. Every Filipina deserves the benefit of the doubt. But if you already know the red flags when you see them, when she starts dropping those clues and hints, you'll know when it's time to go ahead and keep it moving. That's what I will say. Uh yeah, we do have to be smarter than them. Got to be smarter than your average, bruh. It's crazy. My man Coy Will says, I was are you saying you were going to marry one but it didn't work out and you learned your lesson, even date some other ones? I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out the first time, it's good that you continue to just jump back in it for sure. My man Black Pablo says, never let your guard down completely. There's always a motive. They could be motivated to drain your bank or motivated to love you legitimately. It is up to you to draw a conclusion. At the end of the day, the conclusion that you draw is one based off of the facts and from what you see from your point of view. But not everybody is going to see a situation the same, because the same situation that this dude went through that I just gave the example of, he may see it as this woman loving him. That is a stretch of the imagination, I know, but he may see it as a woman loving him, right? But on the flip side, somebody like me and you will see that as, man, this chick just trying to get me for something, you know? Like calling you, yeah, daddy, you're just everything. Like, yeah, I believe in you. I know you could do this, blah, blah, blah. Just gassing you up, trying to make you feel good about you, right? That's what I'm talking about. Us as men, we can see through that. Most of us can see through the facade and the BS, but some of us cannot. I guess that's the separation between alphas and betas. That's the separation between regular men and simps. You could draw the conclusion however you want to, but the way that you see the situation is definitely how the situation is going to play itself out. God damn, your boy got 40 people watching. I appreciate all 40 of you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. By all means, please make sure you get the likes up on your way in or on your way out. I would appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, I already know how to do so. But of course, the good doctor is happy that you come through and spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Nayon Den. I appreciate all of y'all coming through and showing some love, man. Just go ahead and get the likes up for me. John Doe says simps always get abused by Filipinas. This guy is the A1 example. Like I said, man, I hate to tell the story and I'll never use names, but I'm just, hey, that's my man's situation. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna, call him out or lay blame on anything, because again, it was probably his first time. And trust me, I don't care how big and bad you are. Everybody's made a mistake at least once in your life. Okay. So I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I try to let him know that this situation is probably not going to work out to the best of your, it's not going to work out. The money you're dropping for no reason is absolutely ridiculous. But again, he was weak because that Filipina made him feel good about him. You understand? It is how the situation, that is how that cookie crumbles, people. My man Rob, what's going on, fam? Been a minute. He says Filipinas will tell you what you will tell you. No, I'm sorry. Dang it. Let me get it right. Filipinas will tell you what you want. Tell you anything that you want to hear. Okay, to reach their objective. Everybody is handsome in the Philippines, according to Filipinas. That is true. That is so true. That is too true. George Baker, I'm glad you appreciate the good doc. I appreciate all of y'all coming through. My man James Miller, Merry Christmas to you, my brother. Coy says he was there with a woman for 5 years for wrong reasons, basically, so she can stay here. Okay, you learned your lesson. But again, I like what Rob said. That's kind of interesting, and it is so true. Everybody is handsome to a Filipina. Every foreigner in the Philippines is handsome to a Filipina. If you if you are overweight, you're obese, and just looking like a slob, for lack of a better term, and a Filipina calls you handsome, you might want to reconsider and reevaluate that particular situation, because if you don't look like, somebody. No, this is the funny thing. Like, let's say, for example, they said you look like somebody who is handsome, like like a basketball player or like just as an example, or a movie actor or whatever, some shit like that. If they say you look like that, you look nowhere near to that, you might want to be careful in the way you approach that situation. I say milk it until you get what you want from it, but please believe she probably gonna come at you with something else too. Just a quick FYI, brought to you by Dr. Bike TV. My man George Baker reporting live from Detroit. Hope Michigan is treating you well. I know it's cold as hell because it's probably snowing, but appreciate you being here. My man Rand says they have a service where you can pay other Filipino people to watch your girl in the Philippines to see if she is cheating. You know what, Rand64, man? If you got to do all that, it just ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth it. I'll put it to you like that. To me, it just ain't worth it. My man D, what's going on, family? I see you, man. I'm gonna give you a shout out. My man John Doe says the man was acting super thirsty in the Philippines, and it is the kiss of death. But could you imagine if you ain't never getting up from your girl and all she ever did was give you a kiss? Oh man, that'll make a boy feel a little sideways, man. But they know how to get you. They know how to milk the situation. They know exactly what they're doing. Most of them. But then again, let's keep it 100% honest. You do know that there are some good ones in there. Now, let's not act like they don't exist, guys. Come on. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Some girls stroke that ego because they really want what's best for you. That's not going to happen all the time. But you can find a chosen few, a nice little handful that really want nothing but what's best for you. My man Corey Will says, learn from our mistakes, man. Share experiences, travel, save money, stay out of the drama, and learn from good doc. Yeah, man. Dr. Mike, I ain't gonna never shoot you no bad shit. I promise you. I will never steer you wrong. You want to know why? Because I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to have successful relationships. I want everybody to have successful experiences in the Philippines. I will gladly go through all of the bullshit and negativity that comes with being in the Philippines just so that I can report it back to the people and let them know you probably shouldn't do this. All right. That's kind of how I feel. And a lot of bad things didn't really happen to me. I have very few negative experiences in the Philippines. There are some, no different than any other man, but I know how I was able to be successful in the country, and this is the information that I share with you guys, and I hope that a few of you are picking up on these little nuggets that I drop, because sometimes I say shit and I be forgetting what I be saying, so y'all gonna have to definitely make sure that you pay close attention, because sometimes I be saying shit and I be forgetting. I gotta watch my own live streams to remember what I said. So my man Rand says, I look at those eyes, body language, and personality to tell if they are real. You got to read the signs. Well, there are signs. You just got to be careful. But again, a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people don't see the signs. That's the problem. That's where things go super sideways for sure. But George, you're probably right. About 90% of men will be weak. Only a chosen few will be able to withstand, the barrage of good compliments and shit. A Sim's favorite movie is Pretty Woman. Boy, stop, man. Julia Roberts, I never found her attractive. No disrespect, but she played. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, man, he turned her into a housewife, I guess. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. My man Daniel says, how do you recommend people to find out more about their Filipinas? I talked to her mom and friends and some people who just know her and looked around her Facebook. All right, shout out to my boy Derek in the building. Yo, I see you in the building, Derek, man. My bad. I didn't get a chance to catch a super chat, but I appreciate you. But you know what, guys? Keep in mind that I'm gonna do a live stream, and I've already did a video on this, but I really wanna do a live stream because Daniel, you said something that was funny to me right now. You said, "How do I learn more about my Filipina?" You said you talked to her mom and her friends and some people who just knew her and looked around on her Facebook. Let me tell you something real quick, man. One thing I will never ever do, and one thing I will always tell guys to never do, is to take advice from a Filipina. No disrespect. Some of them do have your best interest at heart. Some of them do not. I really want you guys to watch that video. Maybe I will put it in a community comment because it was one of my earlier videos. Should you take advice from a Filipina? I love that video. I'll try to put it in the community comments so that you guys can watch that one. But I made that video a while back, and it made me realize that it's probably not a good idea to take advice or to ask people questions about your girl, especially if they're family or friends, because they're only going to say good things about her. You understand? They're only going to tell you the bright side of her. They're not going to tell you all the shitty things that she do. Gotta be careful with that. I mean, Andy says, I agree, John. I have been known to have simp like symptoms, but I'm not one anymore. I think every man in one time or another has had a simp like has had simp like symptoms. That might even be a live stream too one day. But like my man Coy Will says, it does happen. It happens to the best of us. There are some good women out there. There truly are. But the court wasn't built for men. It's more for the women, unfortunately. But there are good penines. Very, very good ones. Oh man. My man Serge in the building. What's going on, man? Rob says 90% of these Filipino foreigners, I guess you're talking about the relationships, won't last in the first world. Any DUD can turn into any dud or DUD can turn into a stud in the Philippines. Don't believe these women and leave the fantasy and don't believe these women and leave the fantasy and fantasy island. God dang, your boy got to get his words right. Hey man, I can see where you're coming from with that. My man Ran64 says, I heard the best Filipino women to get there is the ones who don't like foreigners or never been with the foreigner at all. Agreed with that one. Never ever, I don't know why I say this. Please don't ask me why I say this. This is just my philosophy. I cannot see myself dating a Filipina that has already had experiences dating foreigners before. Now, let me clarify what I mean by this. If they only had an online relationship with the foreigner, I don't care. That don't count. We don't really count that most times as a relationship. But if they've been physical or they've actually, been in a relationship, that foreigner has come to the Philippines, visited her, been with her, they've known each other for months at a time or something like that. I find it hard to believe that I would ever be comfortable dating a Filipina that has already been with foreigners, mainly because they already have a skewed view of the way the relationship should be. You understand? They always have this ideology like, okay, if the next foreigner that I date doesn't treat me like this first foreigner, then, it's fucked up. Or, there's always a preconceived notion of what the relationship should be like. Or maybe she had a bad experience and she swears off foreigners after that. So for me to actually know that a Filipino was in a relationship with a foreigner before, and I'm actually trying to seriously date her, not gonna happen. But if you're just trying to hook up, at least she's game. That's different. But if you want to make it into something serious, I can't see myself dating a woman that has ever dated another foreigner before. Doesn't work in your favor at all. My man Daniel says, how strong should you be to your penile? If you are too weak, you're a simp, and too strong, then you're just rude. That's a great question, man. You over here trying to stretch them brain cells today, but you know what? Dr. Mike floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee in this bitch. Okay. You have to find that delicate balance. I mean, that's pretty much a generic answer, but what I say is this. You let her know, like, for example, if she's going through her temple moments and she's having that attitude, you let her know that that's behavior that you're not going to be able to put up with. That's putting your foot down. Let her know what you will put up with and what you will not put up with. That's not being rude. That's just being real. And that's just what's going to help save the relationship. She continues to do so. Like I said before, you got to let her go. That's it. There's just no other way around it. If she continues to do bad and shitty behavior that she's been doing before, by all means, something you got to let go of. But the difference between being too strong and too weak, you give that girl everything that she asked for. Too strong, you give her nothing of what she asked for. I call it compromise. Meet her somewhere in the middle. All right. Tell her, all right, I get this for you. If you're in the mood to do so and it's not going to hurt the pockets, do it. All right. That's what I'll say. If it's not going to hurt you, do it. But she's got to earn that shit. All right. She's got to earn what you give her. All right. She can't just be in the relationship and just because you call her your girlfriend or, she's going to be your wife one day. Don't just give it to her just because that's the title that you've given her. Make her earn it, man. Make her play her part. Make her play her role in a relationship. That's what I would classify as not being too weak and not being too strong. As long as she earns what she gets, then you're good to go. It's no different than if you have kids, man. If you smart enough, you ain't just gonna give them kids everything they want. Make them earn what they get. Make them get good grades in school or some shit so that they can at least say, I worked for what I had. Make your girl earn it. Make her say, you know what, like, fuck, how can I say this? Maybe she been on point. Maybe she's been doing everything that you've been needing her to do. She's doing everything that she has. So when it comes to her asking for something and she ain't never asked for something before, compromise and say, you know what? Fuck it, I'll get it for you. That's kind of what I see. You just can't give her everything that she wants. That's what I would say. Compromise, but never give her everything. Just give her close to what she wants, not everything that she wants. I guess that's the difference between not being too weak and not being too strong. My man World Traveler says, stroke the ego to get the ATM code to the wallet. For sure. I know I'm behind in the chat. Don't kill the good doc, man. I like to make sure I, touch on everything as long as you guys aren't talking to each other. My man Andy says, you're dealing with a real woman when she is just herself and honest without exhibiting false persona when she needs something. True. Daniel says America is a fourth world country. It has a lot of wealth, but it's controlled by just a handful of people. That is a very, very smart thing to say. John Doe says, I never gave any background on the guy. He was probably in his mid 30s, early 40s, about 35 to 40. Her age was about 25. He was about 35. She was about 25. They had been together for roughly about 6 months, as far as I know. He doesn't live in the Philippines, but he does come frequently. And when he stays for probably about 3 months at a time. How many times has he been to the Philippines? This was his second trip. MD says some of these Filipinos are playing chess while some of these guys are playing checkers. True that. True that. My man Carl Payne, what's going on, family man? Appreciate you coming through. He says, hello, I just started a vlog. I love Peanut. I've been following you for a while. I'm logging my entire journey from leaving the US to the Philippines. Need to pick your brain. Hey man, hit me up in the email. MikeThePI at gmail.com. All of my email information, shit, I can leave it in the chat. Facebook page is Mike the Guide, MIKE space THEGUIDE. That's my Facebook page. Just hit me up in the messenger. I'll be able to talk to you there, or you can hit me up in the email at MikeThePI@gmail.com. at gmail.com. Look for my information in my latest videos. I usually post it there. I didn't put it in the description area here though. My man Get Lost in Vlogs. What's going on, man? He says that's why some men keep women on the side, because you never know who's playing games and trying to finesse you. So you gotta be doing for whoever is down for you. The age of finesse, fellas. Take notes. Well, that's why there's so many guys who have extra girls on the side. I'll leave it be, man. I'm gonna leave that one alone. All right. But yeah, it's either you finesse or get finessed. I do agree with that. My man Coywell says, yes, got caught up with too many Filipinas stroking my ego. Boy, they love to do that, boy. They love to make you feel good about you. That's what I'm saying. I said, I am weak for any Filipina that makes me feel good about me. It's the truth. And that happens to most men. Not all men, but most, no doubt. Get Lost says, and when it comes to chess, the queen is the most powerful piece. Ain't that about a bitch? The queen over the king. How ironic is that? If she's not playing her role, she's more than likely using you as a pawn to set her up for victory. Touche, man. Set her up for her own victory. I like that analogy, bro. That was a good move. That was some smooth shit. I like that one. Hey, Christine, how you doing, baby? Appreciate you coming through. But then you come through with some negative news, like there are 2 American guys that killed a Filipina in Manila. Well, they deserve to go to jail, and I hope they bury them underneath the jail for sure. No, John Doe, it was not an African American guy. He was actually Caucasian. He was European, actually. He wasn't. I think he was. I think he was German. He was a German guy. He told me he was from Germany. Rand64 says there are some very good Filipino women out there to date and marry, but you have to watch out for the bad ones. Oh, the low hanging fruit. No, we ain't gonna go there. John Brown, what's going on, man? He says pay close attention and don't allow your emotions to ignore the warning signs. That is easier said than done. That is the sad truth. But it is easier said than done for most. Um Let me see what we got. World Traveler says guapo equals ATM. That's true. Every time you hear them say guapo, and that's like when y'all first meet, that is all. That is not a bad sign, but just be careful when they say it, because it does actually translate as that in some situations, and sometimes it translates as in handsome, or maybe it translates as in handsome wallet. That'll be the best way to put it. Tommy, my man, says one thing I learned from my trip over there is learn to say no. If you say no, they get moody, then cut them loose because all they want is money. I agree. My man Rob says first she tells you how handsome you are, and then she tells you her family problems. It never gets old. It's almost like a chain reaction. Yo, this is the funniest thing ever. Funniest thing ever. And it's almost the exact same situation. It always plays itself out almost the same. Always expect something of a problem after the compliment. Of course, they'll compliment you first, make you feel good about you first, but then always expect the problem to follow up. You understand? Always expect there to be, well, there. Well, I wanted to talk to you about this because I don't know who to go to, right? And that's kind of how it starts. I can tell you almost every starting line that a Filipino will give you when they're about to ask you for something. They always say they have a problem. They always act as if they're destitute. They always say something to the effect of, I don't know what to do. You are the only one that can help me. They try to make you feel as if you are going to be that white knight and if you're going to be that savior. But if you're smart enough and you paid attention to Dr. Mike TV and others, you'll be able to pick up on those signs relatively quickly and you can go ahead and block that number. I remember one time. I remember one time some girl was asking for money through a text message. She was acting like she was so sad, acting like she was crying and shit. But then I told her no, and then she said, "Well, fuck you then," and then blocked me instead. So that lets you further know when there. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. Mm. Slow Rat says the long cons don't ask for money. That's true, but see, I'm sorry. The long con is set aside specifically for the sophisticated Filipina. I'm sorry. If a girl can pull the long con on you, that crazy. That's crazy. Man. Mm. The long con is something you never expect though. I gotta agree. You don't see it coming. And there ain't really much you can do about it because sometimes it's hard to take note of the long con when it's coming, but you won't know it or see it until like after something has already happened. So it does suck. Um, and my man Ozone said the Filipinos thought he was Slick Rick, but yeah, man, you pull that eye patch off, man. I mean, when I say you pull it off, I mean you make it work for you, and you do look like Slick Rick with that eye patch on. I ain't going for it. Did you say it? I fucks with that. All right, I'm sorry. We got about 33, 34 individuals watching. I appreciate you guys coming through and showing some love to the good doc. Hopefully, you guys go ahead and get the likes up for me while you in here. If you want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the good doctor is happy that you come through and show some love to him today. Now and then. Okay. My man Smooth Riffs in the building. He says there's really not much difference between women all around the world. They all need and seek security. They want to feel safe and protected. That's true. But I think that only certain women are willing to stroke that ego and make you feel good about you in order to make sure that they are able to accomplish that one. My man James Miller says he said you're right, Dr. Mike, a 400-pound man that can't stand that Filipinos to say you are so handsome and make you feel good about yourself. Like, and then you be the foreigner looking like, are you serious with this shit right now? Yeah, you be looking like super sideways, like I can't believe that you just said that about that man. But they will say whatever it takes to get you where they need you. That's what I will say. My man Ran64 says I want one of those Filipino women in those pageants. Each man they each man that are smoking hot. Oh yeah, man, those pageant girls are super sexy. Ironically, in 2016, There was a young lady that participated in a pageant that went to school with me. She was a freshman when I was graduating, so I didn't really know her like that. But yeah, one of the girls that actually participated in the God dang it, the Benny Benning them Filipinas for the Philip to choose who will be the representative for Miss Universe. She actually went to school with me, and I mean, she's got the height. I mean, she used to play basketball and everything. She used to be really tomboyish, but man, did she turn out right. Can't remember her name, but she was in a pageant, and she didn't really make any of the top rounds, so it wouldn't have been anybody that you guys would have seen, anyways. But yeah, small world. Small world. My man Derek says, get the marriage contract. If you bring her to the US or if you have a pension and retirement, she'll get half without. Ugh, I don't even like thinking about it. My man Daniel says, one of Dr. Mike's tips is to go to where there is no competition, and that's been true to me. Hey, man, don't be telling everybody my cheat codes. Damn. See, I say that shit in the middle of live streams because I know nobody pays attention, but that is the cheat code. I let everybody I let everybody go to Angeles City. I let everybody go to Manila. I let everybody congregate in Cebu. But if you want to be smart, go where there's no competition. You go where the people don't want to go. That way you are one of few if you are just one of one. You understand? But then again, nobody listens to me, right? Because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So y'all make sure that y'all have as much fun in Angeles City as you do, because when you want to compete with all the other foreigners that are there, and I mean foreigners of all walks of life, I'm not talking about Western world foreigners. I'm talking about the Koreans, the Chinese, the Russians, the Germans, the Americans, the Australians, the every man from every walk of life, even people from Africa, Black American, the whole nine. If you want to go there and compete with them, you do so. I am gonna let you do that, and Dr. Mike is gonna let you have that. Because you want to know why? I don't have time for that. I truly don't. That's the cheat code, man. Go where there's no competition. You think y'all gonna come to Davao actually? I think that's a joke. I invite everybody to come out here, but every time I invite somebody, oh, the Davao's not for me. I don't like it. It's so small. It's too conservative for me. You want to go where the hose is at? Okay, you go there, and I will let you stay there. Please, y'all can have that. I will gladly let that go on every day of the week. No doubt. My man, Mr. Wonderful in the building. What's going on, family, man? Where them think Filipinas at? You know I'm gonna say Davao City, right? That's exactly what I'm gonna say. He meant Filipinas, fellow traveler. Get that man a break. Hey, Lizzie, how you doing, baby? I know I'm behind on chat. Just don't kill me. All right. My man Terry says you have to be a big. He said you have to be a dog. Don't try. Oh, you have to be a dog. Don't try to have one good girl. Try to have four, and go for yours. Quit trying to be one woman. Quit trying to be a one woman man until one stands out for the rest. Yeah, you don't have to settle down until you've actually found the one that is actually worthy of you being able to shut down the other three. Like I said, man, if you want to play the game the right way, you got to have a whole starting lineup of a basketball team. You got to have at least five of them. All right, got to have at least five, and I'm talking about you got to have them like the 90. What is it? The 96 or the 97 Bulls. We had Jordan, we had Pippen, we had Longley, we had Rodman, we had Harper, and I think we had Steve Kerr. I think that was the lineup. Don't quote me on that. But you got to have your starting lineup. You got to have at least five, and then you have to weed them out until you find the one that's going to play the game like Jordan and drop 20 to 30 points a night and make sure she handling business. All right. Then you can always keep a Scottie Pippen because everybody needs a side chick, right? So yeah, you got to have a starting lineup like at least the 97 Bulls. Whichever Bulls team won the championship with Kerr in them. That's the Bulls I'm talking about. Don't quote me on that shit. I don't know if it's the 96 or 90 or 97 team, but somebody will tell me, I'm sure. My man MD says it's easy to laugh at the simps out there, but no matter how much of an alpha you think you are, there's always a woman who you're allowed to get away with a little more. You are god darn right. I didn't want to cuss, but you are right. Every guy has that one woman that they will allow them to do just a little extra. They may not mean to, but they just do so. Every man has at least one that they will allow to be their weakness. That's the best way for me to put it. My man MD said he's had his simp moments just like everybody else has, but you got to learn from them. That is true. Slow Ride says angry Sims be buying rubber women. Stop, man. You know they be paying like thousands of dollars for them silicone chicks. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. My man Get Lost says never trust a Filipina that uses skin whitening products. Yeah, they're pretty much self-hating, I guess. Not a good look. My man Sir says maybe it is more safe to get someone with the same age or a very low age gap. I think that works in most situations. The age gap does play an important role. If you guys are in a relationship with a young lady that doesn't actually like any of the things that you like, it is definitely going to be difficult for you guys to be able to, you know, vibe with one another. I mean, if she's part of this generation and you're part of an older generation, it may be hard for you guys to actually be able to make it work because you'll never find common ground. You'll never be able to go out and enjoy activities together unless she's an old soul, which is few and far between. Yeah, probably not gonna work for you. My man Cal says I've dated girls that are clearly using whitening products and had no problems. I mean, if you think that they be self-hating, that's the reason why you don't like them, then that's I don't know. You could love who you love. I mean, I don't know. Skin whitening, it never really affected me much. It never really affected me. Like when I see a girl that uses it, I'm just like, well, I guess that's what you feel you have to do for you, boo. Then you do you. Hey, Christine, Merry Christmas to you as well. Serge, you're 52, man. Are you ex-military or something like that? You always got to be careful of the gold diggers. True that. My man DE in the building. I see you. I'm getting through this shit, man. I'm sorry. Man. My man Sir says my girlfriend to be tries anything she can to push me to a much younger girl. What the what? She's trying to push other younger girls on you or trying to get you to date younger women. Hmm, that's interesting. James Miller, I used to do that too, man. If they want money, you got to come off of something first. You got to come off of something first. Mm, I'm just reading comments, guys. Give me a minute. Oh man. My man Terry Edwards says the long con sometimes it's not even that long. After 10 years, the relationship could have fell apart. Some men only some men's only explanation of why this is the long con. Okay. For me, I think I know what the long con is all about, but yeah. My man Rob 100 says it takes many trips to the Philippines to recognize the Filipina con game. I feel sorry for the ones who fall in love and marry on the first visit. Me too. Christine says that's why Dr. Mike stays in Davao. Yes, go where there's no competition. And I'm telling you, I get some of the most beautiful women that you'll ever see in your life, and that's cool. And it's not even just Davao; it's Mindanao. Period. And personally, I think all of Mindanao nobody comes to. So because they don't come here, I mean, who am I competing with? I mean, I don't have any problem with competition. It's just why compete if you don't have to? That's the point I'm trying to make. I can care less about competition because that's what it's all about sometimes. But at the end of the day, if you don't have to compete, why would you compete? That's just food for thought. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you don't have to compete, why compete? Cal wants to say, just go to the province and find you a pageant girl. Every town has a pageant. It's how the semi-wealthy men and politicians pick out their next mistresses. Man, that is funny, but probably true. That is probably funny. That's probably true. My man said no competition is India or Africa. I don't think too many people are going out there, man. I don't think too many people are going out there. That's true. It is irrelevant to where I live, but before then, that is true. Yep, you're right, John Doe. It's just me and the princess. You guys know that. Oh yeah, the good doc can show you around Davao and Get Lost. You told me that you were also of the Muslim faith, man. You'll probably fit in very good here, man. They got a lot going on for people with the that religious background too, man. They're definitely getting it out here for sure. But you're right, man. I'm one and done, guys. I done hung it up. I think. Oh man, I'm good. Steve Kerr was 96, 97, whatever. Well, yeah, like I said, whatever Bulls team that was, that's it. Slow Rat says Amazon chicks are live streaming, no expats in sight. Where? Where are they live streaming at? mm. My man Michael Smith in the building. What's going on, man? He says might have to keep her in her place and don't let her run it. You can't let them run it. That's all. That is all. My man Terry says every man has been a simp sometimes is sometimes true, but you can keep being a simp puppy or grow into a big dog, man, and F them all. That's true. Like I said, you can stay where you are, or you can actually grow a set of nuts and do something with it. My man Roger Blue, what's going on, man? He says, what can you tell me about Visayan women? Visayan women, off the top of my head, they speak multiple languages. Most of them are tan by complexion. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are tan by complexion. Uh, Depending on if they come from the province or not. Most of them are pretty humbled individuals. Most Filipinas. I mean, people like to believe that women in the Visayas, women in the Luzon and Mindanao region are different to an extent, but overall, most of them are rather the same. It's just whether you find them in the city area or if you find them in the more provincial area. That's really what makes the difference because that is the definitive factor in their attitude and approach towards foreigners. My man Eddie Jackson in the building. What's going on, man? Merry Christmas to you, my brother. Cal Winston says most use skin whitening products to attract the opposite sex. The majority of the Filipino men like lighter women. Yes, I really believe, honestly, that the skin whitening cream is for the local men, not for the foreign men, unless you're talking about the Asian men, like the Japanese and the Chinese men. And Korean, of course, they're attracted to that. But if you've noticed, you find most of your Caucasian males falling for the more tan complexion women. I can honestly tell you that I can count on one hand how many times I've seen a Caucasian male with a light white Filipino woman. Most of them go for the tan, morena skin type Filipinas. Most of them. Like I said, I can count it on one hand how many foreigners, the Caucasian background that I've seen act with women that are actually light, like light. How she was surprised. Okay, sir, did you say she was surprised that you were 52 and she's 49? I think minimizing the age gap is definitely yeah. Minimizing the age gap could definitely work in your favor. Michael Smith says competition helps keep you on your toes. That is true. That is true. Like I said, I want to make it abundantly clear. Back in the day, since John Doe done aired me out and shit, talk about I'm a one woman man and shit. But back in the day, there was nothing wrong with competition. Of course, I'm just talking out the side of my ass, but I'm just saying, in its essence, not too many foreigners come to Davao City. That's what I will say. Not too many come here. I'm not saying there are none here. I'm just saying that not too many of them actually come here, which is why there is very little competition in my city. So why would I care to compete if there are no people to compete with, really? Because there's so many women out there. Not like in an area like Angeles City, where I believe that the population of foreigners and local women are almost about the same on average. My man ZXXTC. Yeah, man, Davao City. That's where I be. Get Lost says Mindanao got the baddies. He said, but I've learned Abu Sayyaf or Saif, how you pronounce it, is more in the northwestern part of the Sulu Islands. All right. Ha! Oh man, Z, I can't get your name right. Zextasy, that's what I'll call you. How do I feel about the president? Everybody knows my opinion about the president. I have zero problem with him, honestly. He was the mayor of Davao, where I currently stay for 21 years, and every year that I was here, I really felt safe. So I really have zero problems with that, no doubt. I think he's all right. I mean, he's doing what he has to do for his people, I guess. I mean, like I said, some people see it differently, but me, I personally have no problem. My man Get Lost says, since you've been in the Philippines, have you seen any other extremist groups? Nope. And I don't go out looking for them either. Hey, I haven't seen them. They haven't seen me. I haven't found them. They haven't found me. And that's the way that I want to keep it. But should you guys want to donate to my ransom fund, yeah, you know you can do that too. But yeah, man. Nah, I'm good. I haven't seen any extremist groups, but what you do find in Davao a lot is the posters of the people that you need to look out for. They like have an extremist group like poster with all the faces of the criminals that you need to look out for and report if you see them. And I hate to say this because it's gonna sound racist, but it's not. But I look at that poster and most of them look like just regular, ordinary Filipino people. So it's very hard for me to say, well, I would need to know what is distinguishing about this person. Do they have a birthmark on their face or something to be able to help me tell them apart? Because when you look at this big poster board of like 20 or 30 people that I'm supposed to be looking out for because they have been reported as radical extremists, it becomes difficult for me to be able to differentiate and separate who is who on a poster of like 30 people. So that's pretty much what they have in the city. But as far as me ever encountering or ever seeing anyone like that, I have not, and I don't plan on looking for them, and I hope they never find me either, because that's not gonna work out for me. I'm good. I don't think that I'm worthy of being kidnapped. I will tell that. I think BGC is the standard for a westernized structure in the Philippines. I give BGC credit where credit is due. But I did that video and everybody thinks that I was talking shit. It's just such a I can't win. Can't win on YouTube, man. You can't win with these people. My man Terry Edwards says, do you get any love from the dark tan Filipina? Because it seems they prefer white men. Because they do. Most of them do. It's weird, man. Women that are close to my skin complexion don't like me. But you can call it self-hate. You can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, I really don't care. I don't care who likes me and who doesn't like me. Because in case people fail to realize, I don't need any of them. I truly don't. I'm good with what I got. So, at the end of the day, I understand that if you are of a darker skin complexion and you don't like me, that's cool. I'm not going to be mad at you for hating me, because really it's not racist. It's just you like who you like. Like I said, you're not going to be everybody's type in the Philippines. That's just facts. So if a Filipina says she don't like you, don't be mad. Don't get all in your feelings and shit. Let it go. Oahu dude, what's going on, man? He says bar girls make me feel really, really good for 3,000 pesos. Yeah, man. I think they make you feel really good. Yeah, they probably make you feel better than good. So if that's how you want it to go, my man, salute to you and do your thing. My man Get Lost says, Dr. Mike, have you ever heard of any kidnappings? I've heard of a lot of them. They just don't want me, man. I think I'm not who they want, but it's all good. I'm glad that I'm not on their radar. I be fucking around with y'all. Kidnappings happen all the time, but to be honest with you, most of that stuff happens outside of the city area. Again, the Davao region is very large. Okay, I want you to understand Davao region is huge. Davao City is just a part of the Davao region. That's just something to take note of. My man Roger says, why not just be single? Why have a girlfriend at all? Don't keep saying you are on the beach. I don't know if you're talking to me, man, but hey, You do you, man. I salute to you. Everybody who wants to be a bachelor for life, do your thing. I fucks with you. I appreciate you, and you do what makes you happy, man. That's what I will tell you. I have no problem from any man that wants to say I want to be a bachelor for life. If that works for you and that lifestyle works for you, by all means, do your thing. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Her name is Bloody Rose. I'm sorry, I seen too many people. Okay. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. If you want to get scared, go to the Middle East. Yes, they scared the hell out of me. If you want to get scared, go to China too, man. I heard that China hates black people. I saw a video today, and I'm not trying to get off topic, but let me make this note. I said previously in a live stream that I would love to go to China. I have changed my mind, and I am taking that back as we speak. I saw a video about this Zambian kid who was a student there, an engineering student. It was back in 2016. Four Chinese men beat him to death because he was dating a Chinese woman. Yeah. So I said, fuck that. And they're not even being prosecuted at all for that, mind you. They because we don't got no rights in their country. That's just the best way to put it. And I'm just not gonna do that. So Jazzy Daisy, how you doing, baby? I appreciate you coming through and showing some love. I'm late on the chat. My man Tim H was good, man. Uh My man Michael Smith says I'm enjoying Christmas in the Philippines. Love being in Southern Luzon area. I hope that the Philippines is treating you well, man. Uh uh I'm just reading comments, guys. Mr. Studio Hay said I met a guy yesterday. Said, "Hi, I am Sunny. I am ISIS." I missed that one. Damn, I see we got about 43 individuals watching. I don't know why y'all watch me, but thank you for watching me. Appreciate you guys coming through and listening to the doctor pop off at the mouth and talk some serious nonsense. Appreciate you being here. By all means, I'd appreciate you guys getting the likes up. That would be highly appreciated. Of course, if you want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. If you guys want to donate to the Dr. Mike Ransom Fund, because who knows, one day I might be kidnapped for all the shit that I talk. You can do that as well. But of course, I'm happy that you come through and show some love to the good doc. Anyway, all right, Liz, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Where's my man Anti-Gravity at, man? I've been missing my dude. I hope he's doing all right. Probably working, but every time we talk about Middle East, that's the guy I think about. I'm telling you, man, for those that want to live that bachelor life, I salute you. And I will never take that away from you because I understand why you do so. I truly do. The bachelor life is the way to go. Oh, yeah, get lost, man. China is effed up. No, I don't. I'm not even taking my chances in any parts of China, guys. I've already decided I don't want to do that. MD, yes. He said, why do you think I keep telling you that I want no part of China? Bruh, when I read that story and I saw how legit and real it was, I said, man, F that. And I've never in a million years let the media sway my thought process on going to a place ever in my whole entire life. I saw that story. I said, man, this is some bull stuff, man. I am not doing it. Not happening. Not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm staying as far away from China as possible. Right. You're talking. Yeah, that was the video I'm talking about. The video about the Zambian kid was fake news. It took place in Indonesia, and the African guy they beat up was supposedly a thief. Oh, so that wasn't real? Okay, well, that the more you know. Well, somebody reported it as if it was real, and that was recently. That's why I thought it was crazy. Hmm. So if it wasn't real, hmm. But I do believe, honestly, that they do not like us over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that happen and stay exactly where I am. That's what I'll just stay where I am. I'm gonna just stay in the Philippines where they're not gonna kill me. They may not like it, but I don't feel threatened that somebody's actually gonna try to take me out because I'm dating somebody of their particular nationality and not like my own. My man George Baker says I have to agree with you. When I was in China, I was treated like a rock star. But back in Changsha, okay, a specific part in China. But back in Shenzhen, they didn't pay that much attention because Shenzhen has a lot of expats. Okay, My man Eugene Thomas says he's weak if she is sexy and cute. All right. I think Eyes On, I think his biggest weakness is Raina Lynn. I'm just fucking with her. Slow Ride says there's a black blogger in China. Can't, oh yeah, his name is Winner Lao Wei. I know exactly who you're talking about. The black blogger in China. And a lot of people will tell you it's not that bad. A lot of people will tell you it's not that bad. So so yeah, I mean, a lot of people will tell you. I'm sorry, let me get it out. A lot of people will tell you that China is not really that bad, but it depends, man. I'm definitely gonna have to weigh my options, and I would probably want to go to a place like possibly Shanghai or Hong Kong, even though they're more expensive, and that's not really that's not really my forte. I definitely have to make sure that I'm cautious about what I do. Yes, Mr. Storia. Hey, I need to set up my GoFundMe ransom page. I really do. Just in case I get kidnapped, guys. I want you guys to know that if Dr. Mike gets kidnapped, he's gonna need the ransom money, okay? So if anybody wants to donate to the ransom fund, just in case it happens, I would highly appreciate that shit. I'm in the most dangerous part of the Philippines, man. Not really the most dangerous part, but yeah. My man Daniel says, how do you feel about a Filipino getting mad at you for calling what is BIFF? The hell? Crazy. I don't know. Eugene, Steelers lost, man. Stop talking about the Steelers. I can't take any more L's, man. I can't take any more. I see a lot of people having disagreements in my chat. What's good? What going on? Oh, what am I? You're right, Andy. It is what am I? And I forgot his name. But George, you say you've been there 3 times and it worked out for you. Hey, my man, Cal Winston says China is fine. He lived there for uh 2 years. But did you actually? All right, for all of my guys that are African American that actually went to China, did you guys actually take out Chinese women on dates? Like, were you seen in public walking around holding hands with Chinese women? And if so, what was the reaction? Now, I can do that in the Philippines, and the reaction will be like, oh, she's with that foreigner. I told you guys how they react. And I'm not really concerned, but I don't want to go to China and be holding hands with a Chinese lady, just as an example. I'm not actually saying that I would do that, but I don't want to be in China and holding hands with a girl and taking a girl out, and then somebody look like they want to jump me or some shit. And again, I'm not being dramatic. I'm just asking a question. That's really what I want to know. Danny, the Phils is a class. What's going on, Danny? I appreciate you coming through. He says the Philippines is a class system, and we are not going to change anything here. Yep, gotta keep it. Gotta keep it the way it is. Why would we want to change anything? That's not our job in the first place. Period. Y'all gotta be a little bit more nicer to one another in the chat. We are a positive area over here. What's going on? So my man Eddie said he's been to China. He was treated very nice. Okay, so let me ask this. I need a list. I want somebody to generate me a list of places in China to go and places not to go. All right. No different than I do for people who want to come to the Philippines. I need a generated list of good places to check out, places that I know I'm going to be okay in, and then places that I probably should avoid. That would make me happy. Give me something I can screenshot. For sure. Yeah, Woody Maya does have a lot of videos in China, but he did actually make a video about how he was hated on and also harassed for something he did with the Chinese girl. Like, he was talking to a Chinese girl and there were some people who didn't like that. So, I mean, hey, I just need a list of the places to go. My man Michael Smith says he said Bill is a city near the capital of China that is going to have its first Black Asian population there because of all the applicants that are going to do business in China. Okay. I didn't know that. But George says they treat Black Americans awesome there. That's cool. Uh my man DE says it was real. An African guy named Woody Meyer reported on it. Okay, so it was real. So it wasn't fictitious. That was a real story. Okay, so you say you were in Beijing and Shanghai. That's cool. China is doing a lot of business in Africa. That's true. They're doing a lot of business all over the world. So I would be surprised if they let anybody of our skin pigmentation do any kind of work in their country. My man BG, my man Mike, y'all killing me. Y'all lay off my dude, man. He can take care of himself, but y'all got to be a little bit more positive in the comment section. My man Eugene says, "What about Thailand? Do they love the black guys there? I want to go there and give me a sexy Thai girl. I think they love anybody with money in Thailand for sure. So you'll be all right." My man says Shanghai does not like. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to get through this chat. My man Cal says, yes, I dated Chinese women and just got odd looks sometimes, but nothing major. Okay. So it wasn't that bad? Okay. Cal, what part of China were you in specifically? So I know. I just need to know exactly my areas that I should be okay in. Again, I'm no different than anybody else. I want to know my safe spaces and places I should avoid. I'm adventurous as hell, but I am not going to take myself to anywhere that's going to get me effed up like that dude that went to the North Sentinel Islands. I'm not going to do anything that's going to put myself in that kind of danger, okay? So my man George says Changsha, Hong Kong, Beijing, Wuhan, and a few others are okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Thank you very much. But Oahu dude said he didn't like Shanghai very much. Go to Puntain and beware of the Puntain. Oh shit. You guys are crazy. But I see everybody has the same general answer for Shanghai. Noted. So I'm not gonna go there. My man Serge says for some reason donations doesn't work in my holiday place. You're going to have to wait to January 1st. He says for some reason donation doesn't work in my holiday. Oh, okay, don't worry about it, man. I'm just saying, man. That's an option, man. Nobody is required to do it. I was just saying for the ransom fund, I'm just trying to make sure that just in case I get kidnapped, I got a contingency to make sure that I can get myself out just in case. I can pay my own rent. So um, my man Get Lost says since Woody Maya became more popular, the news even tried to say that he had AIDS and he made a video on it. It's crazy how they really try to change the narrative about certain people who become popular in another country. I don't think the Philippines would do that about a foreigner vlogging in like YouTube and stuff like that, but I guess China is just different. I don't know. I guess it's just different, guys. My man said, "Don't go out in China with Chinese women, Dr. Mike, because the men outnumber women, and there, and you will be seen as taken away from them." Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good look. Ah, man. All right. Well, like I said, man, when I heard the story, it looked real to me. That's what I will say. But if he was somebody who was robbing somebody, then yeah. All of a sudden, we have already screwed up. I'm already off topic again. We were talking about am I weak for any Filipina that makes me feel good about myself? How we can tie this into the topic. If you go to any foreign country, any woman can make you feel good about you, but sometimes it might be might be a setup, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Mm. All right, George, you says the Chinese guys they embraced you because they never really seen a black guy before. They took pictures and kept shaking your hand. I can see that. But did they ever see you in close quarters with one of their women? Because I feel like once you do that, that's when the situation seems to change the tide. That's what I'll say. My man Terry says, go to the China airport. You should be okay there, just passing through. MD says, I don't think you'd be attacked in China, but there are things that you'd have to worry about, though. I've never heard of any foreigners being attacked there. Okay. My man George says, you have the most millionaire females in China. Oh, didn't know that. All right, Oahu, dude, I'm going to take note of that. Eugene, yes, it's always about the money, unfortunately. See, I've heard a lot of good things about Shenzhen. Yeah, I have heard some good things about Shenzhen, so I'm definitely going to make sure that I give that place a quick check out. I do. My man says, in comparison to Africans, I heard they treat Americans better. Okay, so I never really thought that there was much of a difference but I did have a feeling that maybe the treatment of Africans versus African Americans may be different. I did think that, but I didn't want to say it. That's why I said, how do they treat, black people in general? I didn't want to make the differentiation of that. But then again, you have a lot of NBA players that play ball in China now, those that were former NBA players. I know Stephon Marbury's over there and he seems to love it, so I guess that's because he's an athlete. I don't know. Yeah, SML, you're probably right, but that brother stay busy. It's all good. Daniel, I'm not skipping you, man. I just see what you're writing, and I think that you know my answers already. All right. So Koreans are rude. Chinese buy property all over the world and drive prices up. Guangzhou, China, the Africans took over most of married Chinese ladies. Okay. I'm just reading it. Slow rise, you need to make money off of that. You got 100 people watching you. You better make sure it happens. Yeah, I don't think Chinese men like seeing any women date their people. Exactly. Eddie Jackson, it would be hard pressed for me to disagree with that one. Filipinas are definitely high ranking in my opinion. My man 010, what's going on? He says, I don't always tell them personally, but Filipinos are my favorite in Asia in terms of looks and especially personality. When you land a good one, they are the best. Pass on Chinese women. Like I said, that wasn't even my interest at all. I just kind of felt like I wanted to go to China. Just wanted to give it a quick check out. But I might be comfortable where I am and I just might be cool, sticking with what I know. Sometimes when you know something and it's good, it's not going to stop me from traveling. Of course, I'm going to see other places, but when you got something good, you kind of make sure you stick to what you know. Get Lost says, I feel like most Filipino men don't care to see their women with black men. Probably not, but who cares? It's too late now. That's the best. That's the best I can say. I've already been there, done that, so they'll be okay. Daniel says Pinoys don't seem to care about foreigners with penis. Most are cool with it. Some are cool with it. So that's dope. My man Malcolm in the building. What's going on, fam? Oh, Wahoo, dude, man. I feel bad for you, man. I wouldn't want to see my bar girl with a black guy either. I wouldn't. Hey, I kind of feel bad for you. I kind of wouldn't want to see that either. My man George says they will stare at you, and some Chinese lady had hit on me if okay, so you've had a few Chinese ladies hit on you. I think that it's the exotic and just being different, a foreigner in general. That's why they kind of come at you that way. I think I want a rich woman too. Ah man, let me get through these chats, man. My man Malcolm said I had some California cream cheese sushi. That sounds really bad, but if you like it, man, all right. Oh man, don't get me started on mall security, man. I think I'd simp out over that one. Honest to God, I think a mall security woman to make me lose my shit. I'm telling you, that's my one weakness. I don't know about y'all, but that's my one weakness. Mall security ladies. Ah shit. I can't win with that one. My man George Baker says one thing they will take care of you. I had a couple stay with me in my hotel room and they always folded my clothes, make sure everything was in order and washed me up pretty much, took care of me. Well, that's good. You got to have a good woman to take care of you. I mean, again, if you're going to make me feel weak, at least make me feel good about me. You feel me? I mean, if you're going to break me down, at least do it in the right way, I guess. Eddie Jackson with the $1 million question: pros and cons of being a black man in the Philippines. Pro. You don't really have a problem getting women. One. Con. 9 times out of 10, in my personal opinion, they will always choose the Caucasian male over the African American or Black American male. Pro. Not too many African American men travel. So as far as that competitional realm, it's few and far between. Especially it depends on what areas you choose to congregate in. Con, uh, sometimes when they're mad, their racism will naturally show. Like if you get into a situation with the Filipino, whether it be a guy or a girl, I don't care whether they acted like this or not, whether they were racist or not. Sometimes, their racial side will come out. They may say the N word, they may not, but that's just random shit that I would say would be the pros and cons, just off the top of my head. Liz, you're crazy. God created the world and the people. The rest is made in China. That's great. I love that one. That was dope. Philippines has more thicker women than Thailand. Thai women are more fit framed. That's the best way for me to say it. There are a few, but I think that Philippines wins every single time. My man 010 says a lot of Filipino men in the States tell me they are not bothered at all by foreigners with penines because they usually take the ones that are not highly rated by Filipino men. Being honest. Yes. Um that's true. And if you ask John Doe, he'll tell you that most foreigners get the not the low hanging fruit, but he'll say something to the effect of you get like the second, not the second class, but like the ones that are discarded by others. That's true. I've heard a lot of people say that. So my man Gus Berserk, what's going on, man? He says in Japan, once you're 25, you are no longer desirable. That sucks. My man, get lost. You're looking in the wrong places, brother. George Baker says I was the one of the Chinese one. I was with one of the Chinese women when the Chinese guys were trying to take photos. Okay, so it's not okay. Well, some people are okay with it, some people are not. Appreciate that. My man Byron in the building. What's going on, fam? He says, "Where's my special on the true Filipino female midgets plus the one who escaped from the Keebler?" Bro, you know I'm not going I'm not going in on that one. That's got to be like a Patreon video. I think if I ever put that video and make it public, somebody's gonna be in their feelings over that one. I can never make that public. I I wanted to go to a bar in Manila where they have couple of ladies that kind of they kind of top out at like 4'3", but I can't do it, man. And I can't make that video. I think YouTube will probably give me a copy strike for like copyright, not a copyright, but a strike for like hate speech or some shit like that. Mm. Awahudu says some of the Filipinos guys say that the uglier women are on Fields Avenues for the tourists. Wow. Mm. Eugene says, "Yeah, I know my Filipino wife who we are separated now. She called me the N word 2 times." Exactly. Like even if they really didn't have a racist side, that's the one thing. That's the one con. Like the racist side comes out of them, or they will run to that word to make you feel a certain kind of way about that. How do I feel about Filipino midgets? You asking the wrong one, bruh. I have no idea how I feel about that one. I truly don't. My man Jerry, what's going on, man? Merry Christmas to you, bruh. Appreciate you coming through and stopping by. If a Filipino woman ever called me the N word, I'd spit in her face. Well, okay. All right. I don't know how to react to that one, but I mean, I guess you would be justified, I guess. But I wouldn't want to spit on a chick. It's kind of weird, but I can understand why you would want to because hey, you disrespect me, I will disrespect you back. Even though, again, like we've said time and time again, that is probably the absolute worst thing you could possibly do. Got to be good about it. My man Awahudu says Christmas sucks in Angeles cities because his cute maid took the week off and went to the province. I am so sad for you. See, Oahu, dude, you're making me feel so bad for you. First, you tell me that every time you go to find your beautiful, beautiful young lady at the bar, she's always bar fine, so you can't take her out. And then you tell me your maid is leaving you alone, man. You making me really feel bad for you, bro. You can't do that. Stop making me feel bad. Because everything that is wrong with that situation we've already talked about. But you let it happen, my dude. So I can't. You gotta do better with your life, man. Gotta do better. My man George Baker says Chinese men never gave me no type of indication they didn't like me when I was dating Chinese women. Okay, so I guess it may be in just certain areas. Okay, duly noted, people. Duly noted. My man Zero says, is there a standard height of women in the Philippines? 5 foot even. Is there a standard height? Are you asking me what is the average height? I think the average height for Filipino women is like 5'2", 5'3", at max 5'5". Average height, but is there a standard height? I guess that standard would be what you choose to be or what you think is like how tall you want your woman to be. MD, he says, yeah, good luck spitting in her face. I'm just saying that's probably not the best way to go about it, but I'm just saying. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, 5 foot is the average. Like about five. I said 5'2" or 5'3". Yeah. I said about 5'2" or 5'3", but it could be 5 foot. Mm, all right. Right. So Andy says this is about 5'5". Mine is about 5'3", 5'4". Average P9 is 4'11". Good God, man. World traveler, man. Don't forget about me at Christmas time, bruh. Since you about to go make it rain in the mall, don't forget about your boy. All right. I know BGC is treating you well, man. But yeah, man, stay blessed, man. I hope you have a good trip. Uh so MD says his is about 5'3" as well. See, so those are about the numbers, but people are saying 4'11". Are they talking about all women, including like are they talking about women like from the age of 18 and older, or are they talking about the population of women, period? Because that includes like kids too. So maybe the height will be 4'11" at that particular instance. You know, Danny says spit in her face might go home in a casket. True. I'm just saying, man. He said fun size. Oh, you meant 4'11" or you meant five? You said 5'11". Okay, you meant 4'11". She's fun size, like a Snickers and a Reese's. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, guys. I see we got about 38, 40. I don't know how many people are watching right now. Appreciate you guys coming through, showing some love to the good doc today, man. It's been fun. I definitely appreciate you guys. I'm sorry. Did I put somebody in timeout? Let me undo that. Who got hit? I'm sorry. My man Berserk. I didn't mean to hit that. I was trying to approve a comment. There you go. I can unhide you. There you go. No, did I unhide you? Hold on. Hide user on this channel. My bad, bro. I didn't mean to hide you. Are you hidden? I gotta unhide you. I hit my dude by accident. I was hitting too many buttons, dude. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Maybe it'll it says go to channel report, remove, put user in time. I didn't mean to hide you from the channel, bro. I don't know how to unhide you. Shit. Too many buttons. I'm sorry. I hope it unhides you. Okay. I did unhide you. Okay, cool. Yeah. My man Michael says that's the same in China. You are classified as a leftover woman. That usually about the way it is in Asia. If you are married by the age of 20, if you are not married by the age of 25. Well, hmm, that's an interesting concept. I mean, to think that a woman is like outdated or considered non-desirable because they reached the age of majority and not married, that's crazy. I guess that's just the cultural thing that we have to get used to. As a matter of fact, if that is the case, then I can honestly test. Okay, I'm sorry. If that is the case, that at the age of 25 you're considered outdated, then I can almost see why most of these Asian women go for foreign men, because in that case that is not true for most foreign men. It is not true that once you reach 25, you are like outdated or anything like that. So now I see exactly why some men or some women choose to go after the foreigners. It's because they are no longer desired by their men, which does actually go to show you that most of the men making these statements are actually accurate. The women that the foreigners are with are the ones that are no longer desired by the own local men. So I guess they're absolutely correct and accurate in what they say, which is weird because it's not um they're not outdated to us or anything like that, but I guess to their men they are. So it's just weird. I see it, but I don't see it. It's a cultural thing. So hey, my man Michael Smith, he says Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas to you, man. He says he's got to leave to do some Christmas shopping. Don't let me hold you up, man. Stay blessed, and I hope that the Philippines is treating you well, man. Until the next time, man. I'll see you. Foreigners have to resort to divorce girls in China. Whew, not sure about that one, but could be true. My man DE says I met a Filipina who was 4'11" and it felt odd walking with her. It felt like I was walking with the baby. Yeah, it could be a problem just by looks alone. Yeah, I see exactly what you mean. I couldn't see myself in the mall walking with somebody who is not my height. I mean, not near my height, I should say. My man Derek says, he said his girl got some good looking feet. Hey, man. I think most Filipinas do take care of their feet, though. They truly do, and they truly should. So you should probably make sure that your girl has good feet. That's Dr. Mike's cardinal rule. If I'm a date a woman before I was in a relationship, I only had two things that I required. You had to have all your teeth in your mouth, number one. Hygiene was very, very important to me. You had to have all your teeth and you got to make sure you take care of your feet. That's all I ever required. I mean, most of the time, if I talk to you, I find you attractive anyway. So, as far as how you looked, I was probably attracted to you. But the two main things I looked for, she had to have all her teeth in her mouth. And I didn't need to see none of that black stuff like your shit was about to rot out. I couldn't deal with stuff like that. And number two, she had to have some good feet, some clean feet. That was all I ever asked. That was all I ever required. But whatever. That was just me. My man Zero says in America, okay looking 50-year-old women think that they are hot as shit. That's true. MD says a lot of these leftover women are sexy too. Exactly. That's how I feel too. But that's the funny part. They're called leftovers because those are the women that the men don't want. But ultimately, they're really not bad. Like that's what throws me off. That's why I'm saying I guess they're right in what they say that the only reason that the foreigner gets these girls is because they are the leftovers. It's true if they're considered outdated at the age of 25, like I said. But at the end of the day, that to us is not outdated. So again, that just must be a cultural thing. Well, man, Derek, man, what the hell you doing, bro? You over there? Oh, Derek got a foot fetish, bro. Yo, man, you might want to keep that one to yourself, fam. But all right, I feel you. Am I a foot man? Hey man, she gotta have pretty feet. I ain't obsessed with feet. Like I ain't gonna be kissing no feet and like playing with feet. Nah, nothing like that. But you just gotta make sure they look good. I don't play with no feet. Yeah, I don't go that far. I ain't that crazy. But yeah. My man Malcolm says if you are too picky, chances in the if you are too picky, chances in Filipinas could be slim or you take you longer. Sometimes you can't win. That's true. You can never be too picky, but you don't want to settle for anything. That's what I'll say. Andy says my girl has all her teeth and no baby normal feet. Pass the test. You passed the Dr. Mike TV test. That's all I ever asked for. She gotta have all her teeth in her mouth, and she gotta have some pretty feet and no kids. Yes, that's you. She passed the Dr. Mike TV test. My man Daniel says I like how penines are nice and short, but in USA they're just too tall. Well, they're not all that tall in the US. Sometimes, that's true, but not always. Oahu Dude said, I wish some of these girls would learn how to clean. Oh, hey, man. Somebody brought that to my attention a while ago. They want a live stream on that one, Oahu Dude, and I'm not sure how I could put that one together. My man, Mr. Study I Hate says, Dr. Mike, what's with the huge fascination with spinners? That is a question you ask John Doe. If John Doe is in the building, that is who you ask because he is the king of spinners. I don't know why they are so fascinated with them. I do pretty well with what I got, so yeah, I don't know anything about that one. Oh, Derek, you sniffed them because you wondered if they smelled. And I guess you passed the test. 010. That is one thing we cannot do. We can't go there. I want to go there so bad, but that is a topic of conversation that we gotta let go. All right, Ed, if you gotta go, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. Guys, on your way in or on your way out, please, I would appreciate you guys getting the likes up, and that would be highly appreciative. My man Reggie says to me, if they said Filipina 25 and over is outdated, that's just stupid to me because any Filipina 25 to save 30 is in her prime. True. Byron says the M word has no power, so why trip if you get another round with her, beat the brakes off that. True that. I would. I mean, I'd say I'll show you exactly what kind of an N word I actually am, and I let it in. I said I think because they made outside their pants. True. I think it's about the moisture and the heat. Get lost. Says, hey doc. So somewhat back to the topic. Do you think peanuts make good business partners? Shit. Do I think peanuts make good business partners? It depends on what you require them to do for the business. It depends on what you require them to do for the business. I wouldn't let them handle the money part, but if you can use them in other aspects, then yes, they should be fine. But as far as handling the money, make sure you are the one who does that. My man Terry says she had all of her teeth, but they was all rotten. I'm good, man. She gotta go, man. They all falling apart. Dr. Mike can't fuck with that one, man. Y'all tripping. Yeah, they but oh 010. A Wahoo dude is not lying. Most of them bathe outside in their panties because when you have to wash in a public area, you don't actually go completely nude. So yeah. Man, what the y'all on some other shit, man. I'm not even about to read half of this shit. Do Filipinos have hairy legs? Yes, Andy, they do. They do, they do, they do. They do, they do, they do. Cal Winston says 98% of the time, no. If they have no experience in business, but if they already have had some business experience, oh, you see if they are doing well, then go in with caution. Yeah, I wouldn't. Unless they can be beneficial in other areas, I don't see them actually being beneficial to you as business partners. They do have them though. Most people are saying no, do not mix business and pleasure. I'll say that. I do agree. I do agree. All right, guys, man. We got about 41 still here. I don't know why y'all like listening to me. Maybe somebody's just catching some sound bites to make me look bad about myself. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all being here and listening to the good doc. Unless there is anything else to discuss in this particular topic, I'm going to go ahead and give my shout outs, man. So without further ado, let me go ahead and say my shout outs and give my love and touch everybody in the most inappropriate way humanly possible. But before that, my man says, Dr. Mag, you seen the island peanuts with the midget digits. Yes, I have. And that was just the one. It was weird for me at first, but then I kind of yeah, it's like small fingers and stuff. It was a little different for me. But again, I've seen that in the US too. It was just I never really paid too much attention to it. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and give my shout outs to my man Eddie Jackson. I see your family get lost. My man, Mr. Berserk himself. Mr. Study out here. Appreciate you, George Baker, man. Thank you for your commitment to the chat today. I appreciate you and all that you shared. My man Malcolm in the building. What's going on? Cal Winston, I see you. Miss Lizzie, we love you. Thank you. MD, as always. I see my man Zero coming through clutch, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna get your shout out, but I'm glad that you come through and I'm glad that you guys show the love. My man, did I miss somebody? Nah, I got my man Berserk, Mr. Studio. Hey, um, let me see who else we got to build. My man Andy the Virgo, Eyes on. I'm gonna get my man Cal again. I think I already said it. 010. I'm calling you out again. My man Terry Edwards. Much love to you. I know Ed is out, but I appreciate him. Oahu dude, thank you. Byron, I see you in the building. Mr. Coleman, Reggie in the building. Appreciate you being here. Derek, always coming through clutch for you, boy. I thank you. Thank you for being a part of the team. Thank you for being part of the family. My man Daniel, love you too, brother, man. I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna get you all because I feel like I need to touch everybody in the most inappropriate way today. Today of all days, just in case I don't meet you guys on another live stream after Christmas, I gotta make sure I holler at y'all right now. Michael Smith, man, much love. Danny Gordon, I see you, man. And hopefully, when I make it back to Davao soon, man, we can link up. That would definitely be dope. Who else do we got? My man Jerry, Philippines bound, man. Thanks for coming through for a little bit. Appreciate you being here. World Traveler, thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Eugene Thomas, I see you. My man Mr. DE Raptor himself, my man JD. Who else we got in the building, man? If I miss you, make sure you put your name down at the bottom. I got a lot of names that I'm scrolling through rather quickly. So if I miss you, please, please, please make sure that you put your name at the bottom. Serge, I see you, man. Thank you for being here. Give me a minute. I know we had some other ladies here that were having some problems with my boy BGC Mike, but y'all be all right. Leave my man Mike alone. SML, I see you, family. Thank you for being here. Get Lost Vlogs. I think I already shouted you out, but if not, you getting it again. Miss Rose, I see you. And then I think Christine was here earlier today. Jesus. Who else we got? I got to get you all. I'm sorry. If you guys want to foul out, I understand, but I got to make sure that I give everybody the love that they so rightfully deserve. If you sit here and listen to me pop off and talk my mess, you deserve it. Jazzy Daisy, how you doing, baby? Thank you for coming here and thank you for being a part of the chat. Thank you for being a part of the team. I think this is the first time I was able to shout you out. The last times I saw you in the stream, I think I had a guest on, so I wasn't able to actually give you the shout out. So I wanted to make sure that you got it appropriately today. All right, but thank you for being here, and I hope that you enjoyed your time here. I know we could be a little rough around the edges because all the guys here in the chat can be a little iffy sometimes, but we love you all. Thank you. Christine, I see you, Miss Cheesy Toenail. Don't know why you can't change that name. It kills me, but at least I know when you come on, so I'll just call you Christine. My man Slow Ride, thank you for being here. I know I got a lot of people to call out. Jesus Christ. Tim H, my man, I see you in the building. If I miss you guys, man, make sure you put your name at the bottom. Roger Blue, I see you, man, and if you want to live that bachelor life, man, be a player for life. I support you 100,000% on that one. And almost nope. My man Zextasy, thank you for being here, man. I don't know if you're still with us, but thank you for being here. Everybody that I'm giving love to, thank you. My man Rob 100, good to see you back, man. I know you may not be with me right now, but I hope you do catch your shout out. For those that didn't make the live stream, please make sure you watch the replay, and I'll leave a comment in the comment section below so that I can, respond to your comments. John Doe, always a pleasure, man. You're gonna speak your mind and you're gonna let it go. James Miller, thank you for being here. I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. Just give me a minute. John Bryan, I see you. Damn, throat starting to hurt. Almost, guys. Fellow traveler, I see you. Mr. Wonderful, I see you. Is there any Smooth Riffs? I see you. Ran 64. Shit. I'm almost done, guys. Tommy, Philippines Journey. What's going on, man? I think that's my brother from North Carolina. Thank you for being here. My man Coy Will, appreciate you being here. Carl Payne, thank you for being a part of the chat today. Derek, I don't know why you're not getting my notifications, man. That sucks. I try to make sure that I put the information out early enough so that everybody can get it. My man D, who said, "What's up? Thank you for being here." My man Black Pablo Elite, thank you. I got a lot of names, guys, so just bear with the good doc. And I'm going to catch all of your comments at the bottom, so leave whatever you have to say at the bottom, and I will make sure that I respond to it. Jeffrey G, what's going on, man? I don't know if the topic went the way you thought it was, but it went the way that it went. Pedro, appreciate you being here, my man, with the popcorn, as always. All right, with that being said, I think that we have touched everybody in the most inappropriate way humanly possible. Again, this is like going to the doctor's office and getting a physical where they grab your nuts and tell you to cough. That is exactly how I want to touch you. Just don't report me to YouTube, okay? And with that being said, man, I think we are good to go. Um, no eyes on. I never sniffed any girl seat. That's just weird to me. uh all right, man. We love you guys, man. And Merry Christmas to you, man. George, man, it is crazy. Again, John Bryan, thank you. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Just in case I don't get you guys on again, I want to make sure that I tell you guys Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm probably gonna come on before the New Year's, but definitely Merry Christmas. I got some videos that I want to put out for you guys, so I'm still gonna put out some video content, probably a little bit this week, maybe not as much. I'm not sure. But yeah, MD, man, Merry Christmas to you as well. Get lost, man. We're gonna stay safe. Apologize for that spit comment. I hate racism. I've been dealing with it. Whoever said you're gonna spit on a Filipina, Byron, we can't do that, bro. Man. But again, guys, I want you to finesse and caress that like button on your way out. Joshua, I'm sorry, bro. It's been a long one, man. It's like 2 hours in, bro. I'm tired as hell. I can't keep it going anymore, man. But thank you for being here too. Malcolm, why do you shower with your boxers on, man? That shit's weird. Political correctness in the Philippines doesn't really matter. That sounds like a dope ass live stream though. Political correctness in the Philippines. I might make that work, man. Thanks, Malcolm. Those small heads make certain look bigger. Yeah, small. You stupid, man. All right, guys. I feel like we've touched everybody in the most inappropriate way humanly possible. If I have not, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the channel. Final notes, final thoughts. A weak man, a weak mind, terrible thing to waste. Guys, you got to be careful with the way that you choose to interact with certain females. Sometimes these females have your best interest at heart. Sometimes they do not. Sometimes they have their own interest at heart. But the only thing that I could tell you is this. If you ever have any questions about your relationship, you ever have any question about your Filipina, please come to me. You can go to anybody you want to, but if you feel like Dr. Mike can help you out the best, my email is always in every description area. You'll always be able to find me. You'll always be able to reach out to me, and you can ask anybody who has ever emailed me. I always email response fairly quickly. If I don't get you within the 24-hour period, I can almost guarantee that you will get a response within the next day or so. So if you're feeling like you have some questions, comments, concerns about current relationships, and if you're looking for some things to look for in Filipinas and future relationships, by all means, let me help you. Or go to a channel that you feel will best benefit you in the best way humanly possible. But a weak mind and a weak man is a terrible thing to waste. Don't let these women manipulate you into doing things that you are not comfortable with just because they make you feel good about you. All right. And with that being said, the good doctor is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means we are going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. This channel wouldn't be anything without you. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.